The Love Talk Show on Liberty Radio. A long-lasting relationship is the result of conscious choices that people make every day. In theory, you are the one in control of how you act in your relationships and how much you push past conflict and challenges. However, instead of acting with reason, some people are moved by their emotions, sometimes caused by certain types of disorders or mental health issues. One example of a mental health condition or disorder is known as obsessive love disorder. This is a condition where you become obsessed with one person that you think you may be in love with. This obsession can cause a person to fixate on their loved one as though they are an object or possession. Obsession is also a common theme among celebrities. In recent years, there have been several high-profile cases of celebrities having fans who are obsessed with them, leading to dangerous and even criminal behavior. Singer Taylor Swift has had many cases of obsessed fans trespassing on her property. One example was an unidentified man who was arrested for allegedly stalking her at her New York townhouse. The man had allegedly damaged the intercom and threatened to hurt her if they weren't together, a police source said. The man had previously broke into her home through an unlocked front door. After these events, Taylor had to take legal action and also increased her security level. Another example is the case of a man named Joshua James Corbett, who was arrested for trespassing at the home of actress Sandra Bullock in 2014. The actress had to lock herself in her closet while she called the police. Corbett had become obsessed with her. At the time of his arrest, Corbett was reportedly carrying a notebook with magazine photos of Bullock pasted with notes, with one saying, "I will forever be thinking of you and Louis, my son, as you are my wife by law, the law of God, and you belong to me and me to you." Louis is Sandra's adopted son. Corbett was then sentenced to 5 years probation and treatment at a mental health facility. Sandra then had to resort to therapy to help her process what had happened and recover from the trauma it caused. These examples demonstrate the destructive nature of obsession and the importance of taking such a behavior seriously. Obsession occurs when people take their feelings and emotions to the extreme. However, a healthy relationship is built through the choices made with sound reasoning. This is what you will discover on tonight's program. Stay tuned.
Very well. You see there, friends, what feelings can lead to obsession, delusion. You saw there this man who even had to be put in a mental institution because they were delusionals. This guy even thought he was married to Sandra Bullock. You know, the other one became a stalker. Who knows what he could do to the singer? This is what happens when you allow your heart to feel. That you don't control your feelings. You give wings to your feelings. It takes over. It can destroy a person's life. It can turn a person into a monster. Because you know what? Animals also have feelings. Animals also have instincts, desires, urges. But what makes us different from animals is our reasoning, our capacity of thinking, pondering, of making decisions, deciding what is the right thing to do or what is crazy. This is what makes us depart from the animals, that make us different from the animals. But if we let go of reasoning and we act solely upon our feelings, what's going to happen to us? The biggest setback in love life is feelings. Look at that. The next slide, chat. Do you have it there? Feelings are the biggest setback. Okay, this is what can sabotage your love life. It can undermine everything you've built. it's like a time bomb. If you are not watchful, are not careful, this can destroy everything. It can destroy a happy marriage, a healthy relationship. It can make you go the wrong way, make so many wrong decisions that you mess all your opportunities of being happy. Because feelings change. For example, a single person who lives by their feelings, they will choose based on their heart, on their instinct, on their desires. But maybe that person is not the right one. They have a list of things that could go wrong. Reasoning tells they should move on and look for someone else and like someone else. But when they give ear to the heart, they continue to that decision of liking that specific person, even though they know in their mind is the wrong one, which leads to disappointment, hurt. It leads to a lot of problems. A married person, for example, who lives by the feelings, they don't understand that sometimes you are upset with your partner. You're disappointed at your partner. And it's normal. You two are human beings full of faults. When you are on the altar reading your vows to each other, that's beautiful. People cry, you're there on the altar reading your vows. Oh, the moment I saw you, everything stopped. The whole world stopped. And I knew you were the right one. I want to spend the rest of my life with you. You are everything to me. That's beautiful. But you know what? Let me tell you this. You're not going to feel that way every time of your life, every day of your life, every single minute or second of your marriage. You're not going to feel that way. Because those are feelings, something that you're feeling right there and then. But feelings, they change. They are volatile. One time they are high, the other they are low. And you cannot rely on them. They are unreliable. The heart is deceitful above all things, desperately wicked. Who can know it? So this is Jeremiah, a prophet, a man of God, a great man of God. And if this great man of God, this prophet of God, chosen by God, in his time, he was, the prophet. He spoke like that about his heart. Imagine ours. Imagine mine. Imagine yours. So, when you let feelings control your love life, you become its hostage. If you let feelings control your love life, you're doomed, my friend. It's going to destroy everything. It's going to set everything on fire. It's going to set everything on fire. It's going to burn your house down. Feelings, you need to keep it controlled. Okay? I like to say, for example, feelings, they're like a fire in a fireplace. They're like a fire in the fireplace, okay? Take it as this. Feelings are good. You can enjoy, be happy, have a good moment with your wife, with your husband. Have a great time. You who are dating, have a great time. Go to the park, a public space, Talk, laugh. Feelings are like a fire in a fireplace. You keep it controlled, it's going to warm your heart. But you let it out of the fireplace. That's how we call it here, a fireplace, Chad. You let it out, you lose control, it's going to burn your house down. It's going to burn your whole life down. It's going to bring down everything. So this is something for you to think about, all right? And then we go to the next slide. Many people cannot move on because of feelings. They're stuck. They're stuck to the past. They're stuck to an ex-boyfriend, girlfriend. They're stuck to something the husband did, the wife did, a mistake they did in the past. They cannot let go, they cannot forgive. Feelings. And they keep on suffering and make other people suffer. They don't move on. It's time to move on. Feelings blur your judgment and make you weak.
So today we're taking to the streets to ask the public about past relationships. Were they blessed with wisdom or left with wounds? Let's find out what the word on the street is today. In your opinion, would you say people who have been in previous relationships come out with, trauma and problems, or experience and knowledge?
It depends on the person. I think it's very specific. If you're in a toxic relationship, then sure, you're going to come out with a bit of trauma. But I think everyone heals, grows. I think you come out with a lot of knowledge if you come from a relationship or experience any type of trauma. Trauma sometimes drives knowledge in a way, and I think that's probably my answer. It's both.
I would say more knowledge and experiences. Of course, after any relationships, when you finish it, you experience a little bit of trauma, but once you get over it, I think we learn a lot about not only about the other people, but also especially about ourselves. So I think that's how we learn.
I think a bit of both, something like that, I guess, you can learn from it, because not every relationship are perfect, to be honest. Because I've never been in a proper relationship, so I wouldn't know a lot.
Have you had any relationship experience before in the past? And if so, has it blessed you in terms of wisdom and knowledge, or has it given you the opposite end with trauma and, bad experiences?
I would say majority of the time I learned to love myself first. And it's really important to take our mental health first, especially. And also the other day I read one quote saying that to love somebody, you have to love yourself first. Otherwise, it's like begging money from someone who doesn't have any money from each other. And then you end up getting devastated.
Those experiences, would you say they've leaned you more towards love life or taken you away from relationships in general?
What I've learned is that it's cool to love somebody, but I think what you need to do is to learn how to love yourself and work on yourself, and then let you up into a proper relationship, because like I said, no relationship are perfect.
So, as you mentioned, you yourself haven't been in a serious relationship. However, do you know anyone personally, or have you heard of any experiences of people that have been in them? If so, have they gained more trauma or problems? Have they gained knowledge and wisdom from it?
I know people who have been in serious relationships. My brother, for example, has been in a long-term relationship, but he's, if anything's come out of it with a bit more knowledge, a bit more intelligence. I think that's probably what happens when you get older and you go through different people's relationships in general. That's with friendships and romantic relationships in both sense. So yeah, I think he's come out with intelligence, but I can see how some people, particularly people in toxic relationships or even domestic abuse relationships, have come from trauma from those relationships. But if anything, they come out with the trauma, but they also come out with a bit of intelligence and maybe can see the signs more if someone's going to be like that, if that makes sense.
Each relationship is different, and then we take different lessons out of it. But I feel I tend to get better person who are much more confident about myself, who puts myself first, and then also I learned to communicate better and understand other people as well.
So we heard what the public has to say about past relationships. What about you? How was your experience in the past? For more, find out tonight on the Love Talk Show at 11 p.m. on Liberty Radio.
So this is it. Are you going to use your reasoning or dwell in feelings? Do you let your heart lead or your mind lead? If you let your heart lead, it's going to take you to disappointment, deception, lies, and suffering. But when you let faith, intelligent faith, lead you, and you will feel later, you feel the consequences of the right choices. When you, by faith, you live by faith, and you choose intelligently, later on you're going to feel good things. Good things. Let the feelings for later. It's more pleasurable this way. And couples, use reasoning. Be reasonable to each other. Listen to each other. Don't get angry. Don't let emotions make you explode in anger. No, some people when they argue, they're very unreasonable. They don't listen to each other. They talk things that are nonsense. They bring things from the past and throw it at each other's face. Be reasonable. Be educated. Be polite. Even when you're talking to the person, understand that you have different points of view. You know what's going to happen later? You're going to resolve the issues, and later you're going to have a good time, a very good time.
The Love Talk Show on Liberty Radio.